Alright, good afternoon, gentlemen. Hopefully everyone's having a fantastic day. It's episode number 36 of the Minecraft Survival Let's Play. As you can see in front of you, I'm collecting up a bunch of netherrack. We're going to be using this to kind of plan out, or I guess leave little marks of where I want to build things. You know, we'll do house outlines, we'll do pathways, and just kind of map everything out. Usually the way I build things is I'll just start working on a house, and then work on another house, and then connect a path up between them, but we're going to be working on this Colosseum now in this new Tuscan, Italian, even like Roman and Greek inspired area. I'm just mixing all of those together. And what I want to do is actually get some planning done, you know, assign different locations to different things. I don't want to just plop down buildings. We're going to be building the massive Colosseum, and I want to have it all planned out so that in the end I give myself enough space and everything looks up to par. Everything looks like it could actually physically work, and I don't have small areas that are just weird and I have to fill them in with something awkward. So we're just collecting up a bunch of netherrack, and then I'm going to get to planning, and then eventually we're going to get to building. So let's get into that. Alright, so here we are in the area that we've been working on for the past few episodes. We did a bunch of terraforming in the previous episodes, and now I went ahead and used up all of that netherrack to start planning things out. So as you can see, there's a pathway going, there's a ton of houses. This area I worked on a bit. Instead of going for houses, which I originally said that we were going to do, I added these planter beds. It's basically just grass surrounded by wood. We're going to add some vegetation on these, maybe some trees and some bamboo to get some verticality. But yeah, I started mapping everything out, connecting all of the pathways with these dotted lines, and then there's a bunch of these different sections of houses that are split up by, I guess, pathways, but more so they're just like a little bit more split up to make them look a little bit more unified. They're like collections of houses split up by, I guess, gaps of air. I don't know if I'm confusing, but yeah, they're all going to look very similar. It's not like one's going to be a market district, one's going to be this district, one's going to be that. They're all going to be the same residential houses, maybe variations of like the same house with different block palettes. We're going to be using diorite, andesite, all of those stones, cobblestone, a lot of red sand, a lot of sandstone, brick, a bunch of different blocks, a lot of terracotta we're probably going to bring in to make it look very bright and colorful and vibrant, but not as bright and colorful and vibrant as the main city is going to be. When you pass the gate, there's going to be a lot more like yellows and reds and things of those sort that just really pop. So now that I have all of this planned out and I'm pretty confident with the layout of the area, I guess the next thing I have to do is go ahead and collect up all of the blocks that we're going to need and then eventually start building. Okay, so I went ahead and checked my storage room. It turns out that we had the majority of the blocks that we needed, but I did have to go out and collect some sand, some sandstone, and some terracotta. For the most part, though, I think this is going to be enough supplies to build out this entire village, or I guess this entire area, but as you can see, we have a ton of things. I also need to get some glass, maybe some woods for like detailing the actual houses, some dyes for the glass panes, and windows and things of that sort. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead, smelt a bunch of sand up. I'm going to go collect a bunch of dyes at the flower farms and really think about what else I'll need. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe some iron for other details. But for the most part, I think we're going to be okay. I'm not really going to have to do too much resource gathering for this particular episode, but I did go ahead and deplete many of my, I guess, chests or stores for the blocks that we are using. Okay, so I started placing blocks, and I decided that instead of doing these house by house, I wanted to do it all in bulk. So what I did here is I got down all of the first floors. They're all about 5 blocks high. They're all varying lengths and widths, just to give it that randomization, you know. Nothing's like, it wasn't like an architecture built every single one of these houses or planned out every single one of these houses. It's random civilians that just put all of their resources together, got their family to build their own house, and this is what it came up with. So there are some similarities and, I guess, designs and block palettes, and obviously none of them are detailed, and we have to get a second floor on them and a roof and all of that and details and make each one of these look unique, but also kind of the same in resource wise, right? These aren't rich people. They went out and gathered the resources, whatever was near them. It's not like they're exporting goods from across the world because people didn't do that. Obviously there's like a bit of realism in everything that I build, not too much. I'm not like looking at actual Roman inspired houses from this era, whatever era this is. I'm just building what I think they would look like. So maybe that's not exactly the greatest way to go about things, but it's Minecraft, it's my world. I'm going to do it that way because I think that way looks cooler, and it's going to be my own romanticized version of, I guess, Tuscany or Italy or whatever we're going with here. Okay, so another progress update for you all. I've gotten in all of the second stories, so you can finally see that pop of color that I was talking about. There's a lot of red terracotta, a lot of orange sandstone. It really just sticks out and makes everything look a little bit more unique, a little bit more vibrant. There are areas that I'm not exactly happy about, like this over here. These houses perched up on this hill, they look a little bit awkward right now because there's a lot of surface area on them, but I figure once we get some balconies in there, once we get some details, we can really flesh out all of these areas and make them all look very interesting. Now it looks very barren and isolated, but when we connect up all of the paths, when we have little market stalls, when we have little balconies, all of that is just going to go very far into making this look a lot more like houses instead of boxes. Obviously that's the way things work, but yeah, I want everything to look a little bit more in tone with how the other houses in this area look like. So I'm going to continue to work. Maybe the next thing we'll do is get the roofs on all of these houses. I think I'm going to go for the majority of them being, I guess, brick, and then the other houses being red sandstone. Other than that, I don't really think any other building material works for the roofs of these houses. It really makes sense. I'm going for, I don't know exactly what this is called in English, but like, you know, the roofs that they had were like not bricks, but they were like this certain orange material. I'm blanking on the name of it right now, but I'm going to search that up and then we're going to build it and I'll get back to you. Okay, so here we are back up on this platform for the third time now. If we go ahead and turn around, you can see I got all of the roofs in. What I was talking about in the previous clip, the name of this roofing material, I think in English it's basically just called roofing tiles. I thought there would have been a specific name for them. Maybe there is and I just missed it, but yeah, there are still some caverns that I have to get to. I don't think that the shell of the house is completely done, but what I'm realizing now is all of these houses look very isolated. They look very plain and boring and bland, and that's very obvious. Now our job is to go ahead and fix that. We have to add windows and doors, different balconies, market stalls. Maybe I'll do some kind of like fenced backyard for some of the houses where they can have some kind of animal pens. That's what I'm thinking about. We'll add vines and leaves, get some green in there, some vegetation, different pathways that connect to all of the houses. Obviously that's going to add a lot of like detail to the entire area, make it look a lot more lived in, and we're going to make the entire area feel very rustic and old and messy. We'll add a bunch of block variation within the houses themselves, and that's basically what I have going for right now. These two houses, or this street really, it feels a little bit maybe too compact, maybe it feels a little bit too close together and claustrophobic, so I'm probably going to move a few of the houses around. That's a little annoying, but like these two houses in specific, they're just way too close together. It makes the gate feel a little bit less grand, so I'm going to move those back a bit. But yeah, now what I'm going to go ahead and do is collect up a bunch of blocks for details, and then we're going to start to go ahead and detail all of the houses. We're definitely not going to get through all of them, but I want to do like at least one, if not a few, just to get like my mind going. We also never finished this house up here, the villa, so we'll have to get back to that. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get back to work, and then I'll come back and show you guys what I've done. Okay, the first thing that I've begun to do is get some paths going. So this is what we're going for. Obviously, we've been using this path block palette for a long time now, just a bunch of different stones mixed in with some gravel, and we have different variations. So we have slabs going on here and there. But as you can see, what I've also started to do is carve out some windows and doors. This is what it's looking like so far. If you see these like bigger windows on the second floor, that usually means that there's going to be a balcony going there. It's definitely starting to look a lot more like a house now, or houses now. Everything looks pretty good. I moved these two houses back. There's a creeper going over here, so we're gonna have to take this guy out before he blows anything up. Anyways, though, now we have all of the carvings. We have to fill them in with windows. We have to add a bunch of different woods. We're probably going to be going for spruce wood for the majority of the houses, just because that's my favorite wood type, and I think it looks by far the best out of any other wood. So yeah, we obviously have a ton of houses to get through. Maybe we'll just do this main street right here for now, because I've been doing or working in this area for a pretty long time now, and I want to kind of branch out and do something else in today's episode. So this is the first house. I went ahead and detailed it up. The chimney isn't completed, so we have to get back to that. We have to add a campfire block to it, get some smokestacks going. Other than that, though, it almost lost its Italian vibe. Like, it looks Italian, but it looks very different almost. I don't know exactly why. I can't really put my finger on it, but maybe it's the spruce wood. You know, there's a lot of spruce wood going. There's these beams holding up the balcony. There's all of the doors, all of the trap doors. I think it looks really good, and I just realized now that these are two different shades of window panes. One is the white glass, one is the light gray glass, so we'll have to go ahead and change that. We have a door up here. Obviously the interior isn't finished. I haven't done the back side or the right hand side, but Yeah, I think it looks really good for the most part. Obviously, you have to picture this on basically every single one of these houses, and then you kind of come to the conclusion that, yeah, this is going to be a pretty cool area, I guess. I don't know if that's cocky to say, but I think it's going to be really cool when all of these houses are completed. It's going to be such a vibrant area filled with so many little small details. What now looks like the same house repeated over and over again is hopefully eventually one day going to look like a unique, sprawling, colorful area. But I think that's where we're going to leave this area off for today's episode. We've obviously gotten a ton of work done over here. We basically went ahead and installed an entire village. While it's not detailed and only one of the houses are detailed, I think that this area has a very bright future. We also have to get back to this villa right here and finish that, which we obviously will do. But I think I want to jump into something else, give you guys a bit of variation, give myself a bit of variation, and work on a completely different project. Alright, good afternoon, gentlemen. I know that's the second time I'm saying that in today's video, but that's because the previous clips that you saw were recorded about 3 or 4 weeks ago. I really haven't touched Minecraft at all whatsoever in the past few weeks. I just haven't had the desire or passion to get back into that, and it's kind of weird. In my previous episode, or I guess the previous episodes, I said that I would be doing kind of like a weekly release schedule, and I had a bunch of motivation, I had a bunch of idea for projects. I wanted to get started on the Colosseum and this new Greek Italian area, which we did, to be fair, get started in today's video, but again, that was all about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Everything's just kind of changed. I mean, I've been uploading some trailer reactions. I'm gonna start doing some reactions to TV shows and movies. That's kind of the direction I want to take this channel in. So this isn't a goodbye like it was previously, but it's more like I'm really not sure when Minecraft videos are going to go out, if they're going to go out. I'm just really unsure as to where the direction of any of this is going to go. So I just wanted to give you like a fair warning. Sorry about that. I know some people are, I don't want to say excited or really care that much, but maybe some of you want to see where the world goes and how that progresses in the builds that I create. So unfortunately, there's probably not going to be too much progress in the next couple months, or I don't even know what the time frame of any of this is looking like. But again, I just wanted to pop in here, say hello, at least upload the previous clips that I recorded for this specific episode, show you what was going on, and then tell you, you know what, that looks pretty cool. Hopefully one day I can come back and finish it, but I don't really have any plans to do that right now. So you never know, things could change. I mean, 3 or 4 weeks ago I wanted to play, now I don't. Maybe in another 3 or 4 weeks I'll again gain that passion and want to start building new things and completing these areas. But yeah, that's going to be it for right now. That's going to be it for today's episode. Hopefully you did enjoy it. Sorry about the bad news if it's bad news to you, but yeah, that's where I'm going to leave off. Hopefully you guys have a great day, and I hope to see you in some of my other videos.